What's happening, everybody? I am Steve. That is Matt Mullins, and that is Adam Harris. And welcome back to the Hotel Kayfabe at Wrestlecade in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Matt Mullins, how many times did you just think this is one of the more surreal moments of your life today?
Many times. I couldn't put a number on it, but several times I had to catch myself like exhaling and being like, "Man, I'm amongst my people."
Felt
Right,
the same
Troy
way
was
so
here.
many times. There are so many of us. Sometimes you feel like you're alone. There are so many of us.
Yeah, there are so many
There
of
are
us.
so many of us when you put us all in a Marriott in Winston, North Carolina. It was, you know what it felt like. This might be too random, but at the very end of the Blind Melon song, "No Rain," when the bee girl finds the other bees.
Yeah.
That's what a WrestleCon is.
Well, there was
Relatable reference.
there was
Relatable.
there was some really cool moments too where I was on my figure hunt or autograph hunt, and I looked over, and Adam's working for Matt Hardy, Barker's doing an interview, Resner's selling some hot sauce. I saw like all our people scattered amongst the masses, and that was a really cool moment for me because we're all hustling in our own way. And that was awesome, man. We're all lovers of the same, the same thing in different ways, and that's awesome.
It was Christmas
Wrestlecade Day
for
2, man.
it was Christmas for Marks.
No doubt.
God,
We'll talk
was
about
it? And even I mean, to hit on the matches tonight, man, the show was awesome. Like they really they hit it for us marks. I feel like, like the Jeff Jarrett in the Slapnuts t-shirt coming out, the strut off, the Hornswoggle coming out to enter Sandman, playing the Sandman, doing the choke slam.
C.W. Anderson came out and did a tribute to New
CW,
Jack, which was fantastic.
I
Man.
love you, CW Anderson, for doing that. Not to shit on your gimmick, but that was awesome of you to do that.
It was been nobody we would have thought of to say who would do a tribute to New Jack. They
I
played
would
it
have
perfectly, and
yeah.
I want to say that's one of the beautiful things about independent wrestling here at Wrestlecade. They presented a wonderful show, great lighting, on a top-notch level, and
Great sound.
It was great sound. It was live on the Title Match Network. But other than that, it was not like geared towards any one national promotion.
No.
It was for us there in the Marriott, man, on the bottom floor of the convention center here in Winston-Salem, man. And we all marked out multiple times. Heath was there with a match against George South. It was such a perfectly booked card, I think.
Whoever booked it, they understand their audience.
Absolutely.
100%. Whoever pulled that off. It ended with Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy straight tearing
Buddy Matthews now, yeah.
Oh, sorry, shit, Buddy
Yeah,
Matthews
yeah.
now, right? Tearing the roof off the motherfucker.
Man.
Like, the female match that was Deanna, help me out, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
Adam.
Purrazzo with Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez. I got 2 of those autographs today. 2 of the 3 women in that match I got to meet.
And Malachi had a great promo at the end of the match and you could go get the double autograph, the dual autograph at the end. And
moment.
I love that it's a work to get that autograph. Like that's why we're fucking here at a wrestling convention. That's what we want. And they served it up on a platter for us. Thank you, Wrestlecade.
Absolutely.
Thank you. It was awesome.
I am here to get worked and to get carnied.
That yeah, I mean when you know that's what you're here for, that's a great feeling.
And I want to say shout out to Stephen P. New and ASW. Both of those organizations are the reasons we were all
Gary
here.
Damron.
And we're here with the House of Kayfabe,
Yeah.
and because of them, we were able to shop some amazing collectibles, go to an amazing wrestling show tonight, see some legends in action tonight, man. You think about 10 years from now, even some of these guys will be talking about the Jay Lethal appearance.
I tell you what, I really hope that we're talking about Enzo more like tomorrow.
Great match with
and
Matt
I don't want to
Hardy.
wait 10 years.
Great,
from now.
great back and forth
How you doing?
promos by
you
both
doing?
Matt Hardy and Enzo.
you
Enzo's
doing?
one of my favorite. I'm an Enzo mark. Love you, Enzo. man, they played it perfect.
Yeah, it was great. They said more than they did, which was how it should have been. They only needed to do so much,
Right.
and they said so much, and they did great promos building up to this. Also, they didn't have to do that.
Everything on social media was fire.
It was exactly great. Exactly, those guys.
Hardly, Matt Hardly.
Matt Hardly. Yeah, that's right. Man,
it was
so
great,
great
and we got the broken character back, which is what people want, and I feel like that they catered to us. It was awesome.
And it doesn't interrupt the big money Matt character. It's fine.
No, but we wanted to see the broken character.
Yeah,
and you know what? He did it great. He did a great job. And he had a positive message at the end, and it was a feel-good moment.
Sure.
And that was great.
And we're all going to chant delete anyway. So he should have, gone with it anyway.
So this morning I woke up to, our podcast is full of friends, and Matt Mullins and Adam Harris is two of my oldest friends and two of my bestest friends. And I woke up today to figure talk. And I was like, okay, today is like yesterday, and tomorrow will probably be like today. And we got up before, again, thank you, Tracy Myers. Is that right? Who runs this thing, who gave us free reign. And we were able to, yes, thank you for those all access media passes. We are trusted members of the wrestling press. And we got up early this morning. You all woke me up. I was like, man, I do not want to be up at 7:30. But Matt and Adam said, we've got a few figures that we have to get. Maybe a Bam Bam. So we got to go into the main room, which was where all the merchandising was going on. And we also, if you hopefully watch us down the road, we're going to have a really nice produced Kayfabe collectible video with all of us. Well, I'll be running the camera with these two fellows going through and picking and choosing some of the more nicer, ripe fruits and vegetables,
and talking to some great shop owners too that kind of give us the insight of how they acquired what they have that they're selling. And man, they were great. So I'm excited to see that stuff too.
We saw an amazing set of cards, and I'm not going to show those right now because they're kind of hard to see on this video, but we'll do some more and be able to talk about the cards we picked up. We looked at some 82s and some 83 wrestling cards, which are all hot. The guy had painstakingly cut the 86s, I think, or 83. I can't remember what the year was on those.
87, the magazine Wrestling All Stars. Yeah,
he had painstakingly cut those out, so I can't wait to talk about those some more.
And we had our Zoom recorder with a microphone. We had some really good moments. Adam did a great job of interviewing some people too.
You're gonna see all that on the House of Kayfabe soon.
And we had some cool moments, like I'm carrying the microphone through, and Ricky Morton just leans in and says into the microphone, "Robert sucks."
I got the Rock and Roll Express right here, man. The legends. They were right across from us all day today.
Yeah, they were great.
And an interview that I got later on.
I'm so glad. Yeah, man. Keep a watch on the YouTube channel. Be sure to like and subscribe. We're gonna be rolling out the content.
That's the main event. We're gonna leave that one last.
Yeah, we're gonna leave that last. Matt, do you want to
actually we have two. We have two main events there.
Yeah, we already showed what I got. What I was talking about on our last episode. I picked up the Bam Bam Classic Superstars and the Stephanie. These are both looking good. They're going to look good with the other classic superstars.
And that Bam Bam,
what a great figure.
It's a great figure, and that was a great price. And I think that, man, even if you let him breathe, it's got the ticket in there. But I would keep it in the package. I don't know,
nice
man.
For now, it looks nice for now. And I've seen it. I got it for less than I've seen it loose. At the con, which is another great thing. Great prices I saw on some stuff. And some of the people, as we saw, were able to get some lifetime pieces.
That Bam Bam is why I was up at 7:30 this morning because Adam Harris woke up and was like, "That's coming home." I was like, "Okay, brother, we're going to get this."
I can't let that get away. What did you pick up, too?
So we were at a fella. He had a shop in King, North Carolina, I believe, or shared the table there. But he had the Rhino Thrill Zone. This is the
cool fig.
The Thrill Zone series, has the temporary tattoos, but it's an awesome figure. And I've only seen pictures and stuff online about it. I've never held it in person.
So cool.
So I had to pick it up, got it for a good price, and took it over to my buddy Heath. And Heath had never seen it. He was like, "Man, that's cool." So hopefully, maybe I can even get it signed since I have a buddy in Heath. But I'm really excited about that figure. Man, these San Francisco toy makers, original San Francisco toy makers figures are all sick.
They're
I
so
love,
good.
yeah. I mean, if you see these out, pick them up,
They
man.
look great in box too. I think
Yeah,
as far
and
as collecting an in-box package, they look great.
it's hard to
The
find.
one you got is in great shape.
It's hard to find ones with great shape bubbles because they get brittle, and this one's in awesome shape.
Yeah.
I'm super stoked about getting it. The other two, I think we talked about in yesterday's, didn't we?
Yeah, for sure. I think I should do one of
Yeah,
mine,
do
and then
it.
you should
Yeah,
show
sure.
the people what you got, because you got some really cool things, son. I got to see at the ASW was Leilani Kai and Wendy Richter, who were in the semi-main at WrestleMania 1.
WrestleMania 1.
I talked to them a little bit about how, they never could have known how that would be something we're talking about in the year 2021. I mean, it was a big event, but and Wendy Richter told me, or Leilani Kai told me that she remembered the after party as much as anything. And the thing she was most excited to tell her family was that she was hanging out with Liberace. She got to meet Liberace backstage. And I think that's one of the coolest things to say to people in real life is like, did you know Liberace was at WrestleMania 1, in a great appearance? It was so cool to meet those legends, and I got another card signed by Leilani Kai for the PC.
There you go. Oh, okay. So this is a 1991 WCW Galoob mint on card. The card is not mint. It does have some bends and stuff. I got it in my ringside protector. I got to go to the Steiner Brothers table, and you know what? Big Papa Pump is Big Papa Pump.
He was so young and youthful looking in this.
I was hoping. Yeah,
I was. Not who you saw.
That is not who I saw.
Disturbing lack of chainmail in that.
I was expecting him to think like, "Wow, this looks old."
I was expecting him to be like, "Man, you have that in great shape for as how it's 30 years old or whatever."
Wow.
He was not as concerned, but that's I wouldn't expect less. I mean, he is a scary individual. I paid him the money to sign this and backed away quickly. But
let's not do any math problems or talk about equations.
Yeah, no. There's 66 and 1/3 chance that I could get my ass whipped.
Okay, so Matt Mullins, I know for a fact that you met Scott Steiner and you shook Ron Simmons' hand.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you more scared of?
I would be scared if Ron Simmons was mad at me, but Scott Steiner's always mad at me. So
That's true because I shook Ron Simmons' hand and he was a sweetheart.
And you would make sure you would never make that man mad.
I would not want to see him being a sweetheart.
Whatever I can do for you, Mr.
He was in a great mood.
He was in his element.
He was,
sure.
I mean, he was in his element.
And many of the guys we saw today were in their element.
You know who had a catcher's mitt for a hand? Tatanka. I shook Tatanka's hand, and his hand. I'm a big man. His hand just, just dwarfed mine. And
no wonder those chops sounded so good back in the day.
He said, "Brother, I'm appreciative of you as a fan," and I was like, "Thank you, Mr. Tatanka, sir."
We actually got to see. I got to see him in Hurricane, and we've had him at ASW, man, and he had great matches both times. And talk about legends. I got to see this guy right towards the end of the day today, Barry.
That's all. Do it.
I got my 89.
We all got to do it. We all got to do it. Yeah.
I'm so glad I got to talk to Barry Horowitz. He was so cool to talk to, and at this point, only a few of us are those who grew up watching this guy do the jobs on TV, and then, pinning Skip on TV. Was that Dr. Tom? No, that was Chris Candino's character. Yeah, yep. on WWF back in the day. And we talked about this card, and I'm going to show this on a future episode, I hope. But it's in the Pontiac Silverdome, he told me, and his opponent is Leapin' Lanny Poffo.
Did he say, "Do you know where we are"? Wasn't that?
Yeah, that's what he said exactly. He's like, "Do you know where this was taken?" And I asked him, did they ever say like, "Hey guys, we're taking photos for cards tonight"? Like, would there have been that kind of instruction? He's like, "Oh no, never. They never said anything like that to me. It was like I would never only see him once they came out."
It's amazing.
And Steve Taylor, we think, and we talked a lot about Steve Taylor. If we keep doing this collectibles thing, I think we got to get Steve Taylor on a Zoom, see what that guy's up to. He took some of the most legendary photos. I hope nobody steals this idea because we're gonna. Reach out to Steve Taylor.
A lot of the famous. It
was hot sauce. It wasn't a beer.
A lot of the famous Hulk Hogan photos that everyone sees. Steve Taylor's the famous photographer.
And those 85s we opened on a previous episode.
Yeah.
All right, and that was the last story I wanted to tell. You have a prime.
And
A
my
couple primes actually. You should show the pin.
yeah. So a more current. And he even did a mask change midday,
Nice.
and I thought that was great. He did a mask change midday. Penta did a mask change. He was great. Super happy and appreciative that I came over and wanted a figure signed. I thought I was on top of my game by bringing a gold pin because I thought it would pop. And he's like, nah. Got my own gold pin, bro.
Oh, he knew what to do.
He
knew
did.
what he was.
And I got my Penta AEW fig signed. Seriously?
And
replica
JSA?
signature on the back.
Yeah.
Which is interesting
Yeah,
to see.
it really does.
And you got that just JSA
SA. Graded
Yep.
or
Certified,
yeah,
right.
Authenticated.
And we talked about that. I hope we're going to see that soon on an episode of
we
on our
did,
YouTube channel.
and we kind of we had a roundabout interview there about kind of some authentication.
And he complimented you on our prime main event figure.
My Partheni
Even
Brown.
the guy from JSA was
Yeah.
like, "Whoa, that's cool."
That's a cool figure, and it has the Hill sticker. But yeah, so this is the original San Francisco Toy Makers
I love this
Sting,
line.
and it actually, it still has the Hills
Let me hold it while
sticker.
You look at it.
I just want to keep looking
Appreciate
at
it.
it. But so I stood in line today. I wanted to make sure if I got no other autos today that I got Sting's autograph because I was a Surfer Sting fan. Crow Sting, I liked okay, but I was a Surfer
And what did
Sting
he
kid.
look like when you signed your figure?
He was in the Crow Sting makeup. He was in full makeup, but he had the Surfer Sting. He had kind of the montage pictures behind him, and it was cool.
Was he selling T-shirts and stuff too, or was it
He was not just photos and
to his credit, professional photos. So it wasn't the get your picture on on your cell phone. They had like a legit camera person there. So
My friend
maybe
Josh
you
got
would've-
one taken, so he's gonna get it like in an email coming up or something, like in
Oh, wow.
the mail even.
And to his credit, maybe you thought that maybe it was a little pricey, but no, this is a really
He's
well
the most
done
expensive
picture.
one for a reason. I mean,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
Sting we're talking about.
Yeah.
Here.
He's
I
the
mean,
head-
one of the most iconic figures. There's
Yeah.
the signature. You won't be able to see it
see it,
necessarily on the thing, but
but
this
we'll
is where
show
he
it in a
signed
later episode. I
Yeah,
got to
it
get a
looks so
sure.
good.
I got to find a protective case for that fig. But and even Brian Myers, who huge Major Brothers
He
fan,
was nearby
Mark.
at our table.
Yeah, he saw it and he was like, "Dude, that's a good one."
Nice.
And so-
That's like a pat on the
Oh,
back. from
that's a Barry
Garrick
Horowitz.
or
That's a
something,
Barry.
yeah.
That's a Barry
Yeah.
Horowitz.
Thank
Is,
you, guys.
is that
Thank
like
you.
Jimmy Page going
Shout
like pretty
out.
good riff, bro?
Yeah.
Shout out. Yeah, exactly.
Shout out Brian
He's
Myers.
like, I
Yeah.
like your song.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he was like, that was a good one, bro. So that made me feel super good.
So
That's
cool.
my Partheni Brown of today. Probably the whole weekend, I guess, because I'm tapped on spending any more money except to eat and get home.
I saved a little bit for tomorrow.
I have a little bit
Yep,
more.
yep.
So I went to go meet Sting because I wanted to get his autograph on one of his 8x10s for my little brother. When I mean my little brother who's way bigger and tougher and awesomer than me. And because we grew up, and like Matt, we grew up with Surfer Sting, right? But my little brother stayed. It didn't matter if it was red and black when he was in TNA. You know what I mean? It didn't matter what Sting did. My little brother was down. And I went in and I, paid my money and went up to him and I was like, look, I want to, to my little brother. And you know what he said? Man, this is Sting. Sting said, tell your brother Ben, I hope he's well.
No, awesome, man.
I mean, how
Wow.
wonderful is that?
Wow.
You know what I mean? And it was a big Mark moment.
That's awesome.
And that's a good.
And your brother saw all the people you were meeting. He said, "Stop texting me all these photos of you with these famous wrestlers that I love."
Dude, my little brother, after I gave him a good photo dump, he was pissed. Like the Kurt, so I got my picture taken with Kurt Angle. He's like, yeah, okay, that's pretty cool.
I was
And
hoping
then-
you would tell your Kurt Angle story. Too.
Well, man, Kurt Angle,
We
if
bought
you
a fig
go
of
back,
him too, right? You
if
got a
you-
fig of him over here.
yes, I
somewhere.
do, somewhere over there. If you go back to our old
Titantron.
library,
Not even a collector, but you were, and Kurt Angle was there. That's how
I
cool
mean,
it
if
was
you
to
hang
be at
out with
Wrestlecade.
Matt and Adam, you're going to buy stuff that you didn't mean to when you came down here.
Love
So
it.
if you go back to our old library, you will see that all of us on the House of Kayfabe, Brian Resner, Stephen P. New, Adam Harris, Matt Mullins, the only Derek Jones that matters,
Rich
and
Quick.
Rich Whitener.
Shout out to those guys who aren't with us tonight.
Rich Quick. You will see that we all did our
New Jack, shout out.
well, that too. No,
Lucius
but
Beauregard.
we did our Mount Rushmore, and my Mount Rushmore includes Kurt Angle, and they were in the Legends room. And the Legends room was very busy because it was him, it was Kane,
Huge
it was
stars.
Ricky
Huge
the
stars.
Dragon, it was Jerry the King Lawler. We're talking
Kane
Arn
was
and
there.
Brian. Dude, it was crazy. Many times I went in and it was just too long, and man, I hit it perfect, and I just had to wait for 3 or 4 people before me because I always had to stay available because our podcast, we're working.
Yeah.
We came down here. We did a very good job of balancing marking out and being
That's
a
right.
fan
That's a great way of
and
putting
working
it. Yeah, absolutely.
this
Absolutely.
week.
You guys did a great job. I think that I was just marking out the whole thing.
No, everybody did a great job.
And in the next couple weeks, probably 1 or 2 weeks, you're going to see the fruits of those labors. But I got to go up and shake Kurt Angle's hand, and I got to, and it's just what wrestling is.
Yeah,
I got to
sure.
text my brother and my best friend in the world. And a couple other friends that are all marks.
It's not even the people that are here. It's those people who are communicating
And dude, they were
living
happy.
in our lives with
And they were
us.
happy. Dude, Hot Rob was like, "Did you make him tap out?" You know what I mean? And that little moment there is what wrestling is.
Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure.
You know what I mean?
for
It's
sure.
what
Those
what
things
brother
we're all related to so deeply in our lives.
what
Yeah.
Brother Brown was saying on the first part of today's recap. It's like it's the thing that brings us all together, no matter
Yeah.
what.
Well, it's a pure thing. I mean, that's it, the collecting part too. It's a piece of nostalgia. Figures that we didn't necessarily like when we were young, and now we
yeah.
appreciate. And
Oh,
that's it's same with cards. And I mean,
I never had
it's
the OSFTMs, but now I love them.
yeah, it's a great. You have multicolored
But
Booker
I've
T
gone
and
too far on that. I didn't mean to change the subject. from where you were going, but-
yeah. But yeah, I mean that's it. That's the beautiful part about all this convention of people from all ages, and we saw a cute little baby today dressed as Hulk Hogan.
I've got pictures. I
yeah,
got
it's
pictures
great.
of her.
Nice.
Yeah.
I spent a little bit of time in the line working Matt Hardy's line and just watching him work. I shout out to Matt Hardy. I will always be forever a mark because I saw him with every individual, and that was a good encapsulation, I think, of like the thing you pay for is that interaction, even though it's very short for everybody. Some of them seem a little longer than others, but in reality, it's no more than a couple minutes.
Right.
For everybody. At
most.
most, exactly. And a lot of them still can walk away with a 30-second version that is like life-changing for them.
Yeah.
If with the right person, like a Matt Hardy spins, and he looked everybody in the eye. That's what I noticed is like he looked at everybody in the eye before he picked up the pin. It was never about like, wait, what are you here to get signed? It was about, hey, how are you today? And the pin's laying there, and then he'll go for it and do it as it's necessary and talk to whoever it was. And he said, are you enjoying the AEW product? To a lot of people, he could tell who were fans, of which brand of his style. People were there like our age with a 2001, magazine that's all Hardys and Lita, like. And he says, again, he popped kind of like,
our buddy Scott Robertson, shout out. What a magazine you had.
That was it.
Scott
Robertson, man, shout out.
Scott Robertson had a great Hardy Boys magazine that he's kept, and he said that Matt popped for it. Like, man, I hadn't seen this.
That was so cool to just watch that all day long.
Yeah, that's awesome. On till tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm so excited for tomorrow.
We'll try to.
I was thinking if there was enough wrestling, and at one point today I realized there's never enough wrestling.
Adam Harris said in a text message before he came down here, he said, "Do you think that we'll ever be like just burned out?" I was like, "We'll find out." And dude, this is the most wrestling I've had mainline in a long time.
It is like mainlining, yeah.
I am very excited to see Jordan Grace wrestle tomorrow.
I'm excited about the card tomorrow.
Colby Max is wrestling tomorrow.
It's gonna be so exciting.
Yes, super stoked.
Yeah,
ASW Zone. Yeah, and I think it's going to be great.
Pretty soon, we've all started a hot sauce collection that you're going to be hearing much more about in the House of Kayfabe.
Well, what I'm looking for is the earlier prototype hot sauce, hopefully in like a 2X, so it comes out in like a liter form to let you know.
Nice. But if you get a case of those, let me know.
And like my idea is to do that in just fade it down from there. So that's it.
Gotcha. Cool. Good idea.
The 2X. The 2 up. God
2
damn
up.
it, not 2X.
Want to do it again?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
We're all gonna start I said soon we're gonna start. I'll just start with soon we're gonna start Soon we're gonna start all hot sauce collection in our line because you're gonna be hearing about more hot sauce on the House of Kayfabe because we have our own line.
Well, what
hot
I'm
sauces.
really looking to collect is the limited edition of those hot sauces, and if possible, the 2-up.
Hey,
Nice. You learned a lot this week.
Hey, the 2-up, my man.
Nice.
He wants the pre-production.
Nice. There we go. I got it right?
Yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome.
2X.
2X, 2-up, 3X.
Well, if you're able to cut that up without passing out, I'll be surprised.
Nah, dude, I get shit done.